Hello everyone, Oli here, and welcome to a review of The Web Planet, the fifth story of the second season of classic Doctor Who, and the 13th story overall, starring William Hartnell as the first Doctor. It's 6 episodes long and is written by Bill Stratton. The plot of The Web Planet is as follows. A mysterious force pulls the TARDIS off course, stranding the Doctor, Ian, Barbara and Vicky on the mysterious alien world of Vortex. A fierce battle is raging between the moth-like Menoptera and the giant insect known as Zarbi. But what is the dark secret that hides at the center of the Zarbi's lair? So that's the plot of The Web Planet. The Web Planet is a divisive story. Some people think it's brilliant, and some people think it's very ambitious, and others think it's complete whack. To be honest, I'm one of the people who think it's whack. I don't think the story is very good, and to be honest, The Red Planet is my least favorite story of the Hartnell era, if not one of my least favorite stories in Classic Who overall. I really tried to like it. People have been reading reviews online saying it's a very good story. Enzo told me it's a very good story, but I tried to like it, but honestly couldn't. Aside from the things that really brought this story down, there were some good parts of the story. I understand they were trying to be ambitious, but there weren't any characters that looked remotely human aside from the TARDIS crew. But yeah, the ambition was good. By the end of the day, you can't really have ambition. You can't really rely on ambition alone to save the story. That's one of the main problems with this story. It was a bit over ambitious, but I'll get into that later on. But there were stories that actually were a bit more ambitious, but they handled a bit better. For example, like The Daleks or An Earthly Child, Planet of the Giants, and The Keys of Marinus. I think those stories, I think they handled ambition a lot better than this story, as the people claimed is very ambitious. The set design was very good. It was very impressive, and I will give them that. The Menoptera with the bee butterfly look, that was pretty cool. Well, the characters, they were alright. The main character, the TARDIS crew, they were okay. Barbara, once again, she stood out. She was the one who actually saved the day when she defeated the Animus. But once again, the TARDIS crew were separated again. That's getting a bit repetitive now. Having the TARDIS crew becoming separated. Yeah, Ian was with the Doctor and Vicky before going off on his own. I can't remember who. I think one of the Menoptera. I can't even remember. And Barbara was with the Menoptera as well. She was on her own, even though she was absent in episode 3. But there was a part in the story where the Doctor was like, when he was talking to the English, he was like, "Come along, drop this hairdryer or whatever this thing is." That scene was actually quite funny. I think this is one of William Hartnell's flaws. He is called Billy Floss for nothing, isn't he? Now, the main issues that I have with this story, there were some mistakes that were very distracting. When one of them, I understand this is the 1960s, but they had happened in previous stories, but this story is glaringly obvious. I think one of the Menoptera actors was tripping on his wings. The Zarbi running into the camera in episode 2, and I think one of the fight scenes was horrible, was not done very well. I think it was with the Zarbi. I think they were just running into each other or something like that. But to be honest, the production mistakes, they didn't really peeve me in this story. There are production errors in this story that are somewhat glaringly obvious, not just the Web Planet, but even with the production mistakes, they do manage to do a good job at it. I can't really name names right now, but what does peeve me off about the Red Planet was his execution, and the execution, in my opinion, was quite poor. As I mentioned before, I think the story was a bit over ambitious. You can't really rely on ambition to save the story, and so on. You need a good script. A good execution. You need a good script, good production designs. Even though some production designs were quite whack in other stories, but they did manage to make a good job at it. I'll name names later, but this story, the script wasn't good. The execution was horrible. Even the direction by Richard Martin, I think, this is the guy that directed the Dalek Master Plan. The Dalek Invasion of Earth, and he did that fantastically well. But this story, I don't think he really cared or something. The direction was a bit off. So as I mentioned earlier on, there was too much focus on the production of this story and more than the story's actual script. This is the same problem that Marco Polo had, and what made me not like Marco Polo as much, but to be honest, the Marco Polo script was actually quite decent compared to the Web Planet. The Web Planet script was a bit off for some odd reason. I didn't really like it. And also the zombies, I felt like they were shoved down our throats. I know that the zombie were like an attempt to make a monster as popular as the Dalek, so maybe that was the reason, but to be honest, the zombie was just, oh my god, they were like the most annoying things ever. With the constant beeping sound, it was just like, can you just please stop? It was just really getting on my nerves. I just really couldn't get into it. And it made me very hard to like them because of the beeping noises. And at least just let them have them speak or something in like one Dalekish voice or something like that, but not beeping, please. No. That wasn't a good call at all. The story is 6 episodes long, but it really should have been 6 episodes. The Red Planet, I think this is the first 6-part story to at least suffer severe pacing issues. It was way too slow for my liking, and it felt quite boring as well. I felt as if it was intentionally dragged out to make it a bit longer. That's another issue of 6-parters. Some stories aren't made to be 6-parters whatsoever, such as this story, for instance. It really should have been at least a 4-parter, but I'll explain that later. And also, it was very hard. I found it very hard to watch. The zombies beeping too much, the very horrible pacing, and it was not that engaging at all. I didn't really understand why the camera was blurry. I actually thought the film was damaged or something, but it actually wasn't. I wish there was some sort of explanation to why the camera was blurry. It was as if they rubbed Vaseline on the camera or something like that. I really don't know why, but it just really put me off, and I didn't really like that. The Red Planet would have been a bit enjoyable if it was 4 parts instead of if it was a 4-parter. And instead of having the zombie being giant ants, maybe make them like the Menoptera, and maybe have them in like an ant costume or something like that, but not in an ant costume. Maybe just like give them horns or something, like the Tick on Amazon, for instance. Maybe give them those sort of costumes, and maybe have them talk like the Menoptera instead of having them beeping all the time. So the Web Planet, I'd have to give this story a 2 out of 10. This is my lowest review I've ever given a story up to this point. There will be some lower reviews around the 2-3 area that will be coming later on, but to be honest, I didn't really like the story. I wasn't able to enjoy it. It was a chore to sit through, and to be honest, I was actually very happy when it finished. No Doctor Who story or any episode of a TV show should make anyone feel like that whatsoever, and that's my opinion. I think I actually blacked out towards the end. After the animals were defeated, I remember watching it. I think after they were talking, and then I can't remember what happened, and then all of a sudden I see next episode Lion. That's for the Crusades. I just really couldn't remember what happened. I couldn't be bothered to rewind and see what happened because I didn't really want to put myself through that again. So speaking of the Crusades, this is going to be my next review, and this is the only story from season 2 to have missing episodes, so stay tuned when I drop the review for that. Thank you for watching this review. Please let me know how I did and what you thought of the Web Planet. Don't forget to subscribe as well, and I'll see you guys later on. Ta-ra!